Hey, the fellow travelers, Mark here with Walter's World, and cheers to the end of another beautiful year of travel, another year of having some of the best, most wonderful fellow travelers out there. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for a great year. It's been fun, 1 million subscribers this year. I mean, I never thought that would happen, but it's been fun. But traveling doesn't stop. So we need to start talking about what to look out for in 2024. But before I get started, I want to say hi to some people that were earlier today. Saying hi, of course, to Andy that was on here earlier. Matt, thank you. Matt, I'll get to your question here in a little bit. Yowzer77, probably our number one commenter on Professor Walters and on Walters World. Stuart, good to see you, my friend. Dark Slide, I'll look through your question. I'll talk about your question too. Lori, good to see you. Aviation Matthew, hey, it's been a while. Good to see you as well. Barb, yeah, 2024 travel is going to have its ups and downs like a lot of things. We're going to talk about that. Anthony, thank you for being around and sticking with us for so long. I love it. I'm glad you got Spain in 2013, man. It's been a while. Glad I've been there for you. Flopkey, since Georgia's not in the playoff, I'm not allowed to even talk about the playoffs. Jocelyn's in the other room. That's the only reason I can talk about this now. Mark Finley, my brother, good to see you, my friend. Ryan, good to see you too. Jen, always a pleasure. The comparisons will affect price throughout all of France in 2024. It will definitely affect your flight tickets. I've seen this myself. I've been adjusting some flights for later in 2024 before the Olympics, and I've actually found it cheaper for me to fly into Amsterdam or into Spain and then taking the train into France. That's actually one thing I'm looking at for those things. Dudley Do-Right, good to see you, Gordon. All kinds of fantastic people here today. I just want to say thank you. We do have some Walters World gear. If you want to go there, there's a link. It should be the pinned comment on top. But you just look up on Teespring if you want to grab some stuff there. They do ship all around the world, so they make them all around the world. So we have that. All kinds of stuff. Now, 2024. All right. So one thing you need to realize, it's not going to be probably as crazy full of travelers as 2023 or 2022. I think the numbers will continue to go up. We'll get back to the pre-2019 numbers, like pre-COVID numbers. We're going to see that coming back. So there'll still be a lot of people traveling. But I think with inflation, how it's really started to impact people's pocketbooks, if you look at, Germany, U.S. retail sales for Christmas and how that was really down this year, that's going to impact travel as well. And the last couple of years, people really went for that revenge travel. I don't care what the price of the tickets are. I don't care what the price of the accommodation is. I will overpay for anything just so I can go to Italy. I can go to France. I can be whatever. And I think now you're going to see is people are going to start pulling back because that inflation, it's been 2 or 3 years of inflation. Now inflation's slowing down a bit, but doesn't change the fact that now it's 20% more to do things, 30% more to do things. And that's one thing I think you really need to think about in 2024 is think about where you're going to go and your budget you can go there. And that's why it's important to really plan ahead. And I have a bunch of videos coming out this spring and in February and March, I guess it's not spring. Well, it's kind of spring. Coming out to talk about how to plan your budget, how to set things up, how to pick destinations, because I think it's going to be really important to get your money to go as far as possible. I know for us, for example, 2024, we've got 2 South American trips already booked. We're going there in the first half of the year just to go and explore more of South America, just because the financial side of it is like, whoa, I mean, you have to think about these things. So one of those things I really want to kind of talk about is that. And Beta, thank you very much. So Beta, thank you very much for the super chat to help with the travel fund for this year. It does make a difference. And that's one thing I do want to tell you all, like your memberships, your Patreon memberships, your YouTube memberships, your super chats, your super thanks, you're getting the shirts, getting the all the things. It does make a difference. It does help with getting us able to go places because those prices have gone up, and everything. And we want to make sure we're still helping people travel more. And our visual, people don't see us as much as they used to because there's so many other people doing travel that there's just a lot there. So we're not at the top of the suggestions like we used to be. So there's a lot of really bad travel advice out there. So by helping us make more videos and keep doing these things, you're helping our get the content so people, when they search, they will find our stuff. So we're going to have some fun new places this year. I know we got the 2 trips for South America, a couple trips to Europe already booked. We got a bunch of stuff in the U.S. Looking to Southeast Asia in the fall. So we'll get some new places for you for this year. So it's going to be a fun time. And I want to make sure we're going with you all when you're there. And a lot of people ask, Mark, why don't you do like meetups? We travel around. So for some of you that don't know, we've actually had people show up at our house before. Not like once we knew that we're coming, like random people showing up. And sometimes it has been a little scary. And when we traveled around, this is probably 10 years ago now, but there was a few YouTubers that were killed when they had meetups. And that's one of those things, like I don't want to put my family in danger with stuff. So that's why you don't see a lot of meetups when we do these things, because we got to be careful, because YouTube is much better now with hiding the death threats and horrible threats that people put out there. But you'll be surprised, when I used to do a lot of the love and hates videos, we would get a lot of really, really not nice comments. I remember filming in Hamburg, and I had so many bad comments in Germany that I remember I was filming, and you've watched my love and hates of Hamburg, you'll notice I'm looking around because there's those things. So it is what it is. But I think for you as travelers looking at 2024, I would definitely be booking earlier and making sure you're pre-booking stuff. Anything you can pre-book, because the numbers will still be high with travelers, but people's patience and also cities' patience with the over-tourism kind of stuff, I think you're going to see a lot more pushback. Like you've seen cities like Amsterdam that have like moved the I Am Amsterdam sign, so it's not where tourists are. And really, Amsterdam has really pushed against tourists. And Venice, with the new rules that are in place about where you can go, where you can't go, Florence, can you eat ice cream here or not eat? There's a lot of things that are there, and I'm actually going to be filming a bunch of new stuff in Italy to come out in the spring and summer for travelers going there to know that there's certain things you can't do. You're like, you can't, someplace like literally you can't stop and sit on the steps, even if you're old, because they might find you. So there's a lot of things we're going to be going through to try to give you a lot more help in those traveling things so you don't have those issues. And that's why, there's so many new little videos that I've been putting out that you're going to see on our this channel, the Walter's World channel. We'll still have our main videos every Wednesday and Saturday, like we've had the long form videos, but also we will put out at least one short every week. And they're like going to be shorts that are going to be really helpful. Like, this is something everybody should know. But the thing is, I literally have the entire 2024 filled up for a short on every single day on our Walter's World Shorts channel already there. And there's going to be more that I'll be putting on. And it's a lot of it is like, hey, when you're at this destination, watch out for this or look for these things, because there's so many little tips I want to get out there that I see so many new YouTubers and Instagrammers, and I'm glad they're doing this stuff. They're helping share, getting travel out there, showing the world. But some of them are giving pretty bad information and not helpful. So I'm really trying to do a lot of those. And those vertical videos, I mean, it's amazing how some of those go really viral. They can have a big impact, but sometimes the wrong impact. So we're trying to help out with some of those things. So there is that. Now, other things I think you need to think about is, you have the Olympics that are coming up in Paris this summer. So if you're thinking about doing your Paris vacation, if you haven't already booked, like for the month before the Olympics and during the Olympic time, it's going to be tough to find places. So make sure maybe what you do is you stay in Lyon and take the train in for Paris for a day. Because let's be honest, you take the TGV anywhere in France is a day trip from Paris and vice versa. So that might be something you want to look at, because there's going to be a lot of stuff. Because I remember we were in Paris, literally, I think it was the week before it was like a Champions League final, and every single place in Paris was booked out. So you got to be careful with those. Okay. Elf Dog, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, Mark. What are your thoughts on travel and entertaining guests in the Midwest, especially from Milwaukee in July for the Republican National Convention, and August in Chicago for DNC? So one thing I would say, both Milwaukee and Chicago are fantastic places to visit. I know Chicago gets a really bad rap right now, like, oh, it's Chirac and you're going to get shot. Look, as a traveler, you still have a lot of really great things to see in both those cities. I usually recommend against traveling to destinations when there's a political event going on. Like I tell people, if there's a World Trade Organization meeting or the International Monetary Fund, you will have protesters there. And I'm not saying that what's good or bad, but there will be people there, and that can kind of change things. I know I was supposed to take my aunt to Prague once, and there was an IMF conference, and there was protesters like, hey, we got to change this. I would recommend, if you're not going to go for the Democrat National Convention, the Republican National Convention, if you're not going there for the convention itself, I would avoid those places the week leading up and the week of. The week after, you're fine, but the week leading up and before, because there's going to be a lot more restrictions, a lot more security, won't be as fun to see some of the sites. So I'd recommend against that. But I will say maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before, because they're going to be cleaning up, things will be there. My things might be running a little bit easier. That would be a nice thing to do. But Midwest in the summer is always a fun place to go. And if you're going to be there, if you're going to be in like Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, those are gorgeous during that time of the year. I really recommend going there. Let's see. John Reedy, thank you very much for the super chat. Just found your videos the past couple of weeks. Awesome. I appreciate it. As I prep for a trip to Italy in a few months, best content I found by far. Great job. Thanks. Thank you, John. And John, I don't know when you're going to be going to Italy in a few months. Okay, so March, I have on Walter's World Eats, there's going to be a bunch of Eats of Italy videos. So a bunch of different cities, a bunch of different things, and a bunch of advice videos for Italy coming out. That like March is going to be the Italy month, and February is going to be more like advice and family travel, female travel advice month, and January is kind of a potpourri because there's so many different places people are going to go. So we're going to have a lot of different stuff out there to help people. So thank you, my friend. Yeah, that's good to know because sometimes the rump needs to rest. Yes, the rump does need to rest sometimes. So, Nick, I know you go to Australia and Canada. That's a back-to-back crazy one. Thanks, buddy. Henry, thank you very much for the super chat. Mark, hope you guys had a great Christmas. We did. Hey, how often do you and Jocelyn go on Patreon and meet your Patreons on Zoom? So for that one, I've only had like 2 or 3 people ever do that for the Patreons on Zoom thing over the years because that's one of those higher tiers, so people don't really do that one. But there's been a few over the years we'll do it. It's usually where I've actually seen is when people, because they want to hire us. Hey, Mark, we want to move abroad, and we want to know what it's really like. And we have videos to help people out. I'm like, watch the videos, save your money, it's okay. But some like we really want to talk, and they don't want to do it for free. Like we want to pay you, and so they'll do the Patreon, and we'll have a couple meetings just to talk about because a lot of people think when they move abroad, it's going to be like vacation continued, and we all know that moving to Florida isn't the same as going to Orlando for vacation. And talking about those things, having those realistic expectations, that's where a lot of those people that have done, Henry. So that's where it's from. But thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Maria Fons, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. That's awesome. For my members and patrons, so we're going to get back to our monthly Patreon only, member only on members on YouTube and Patreon live starting in January. So we're scheduling those things out now. So people will know when we're going to have the Patreon only and the member only talk chats. Live chat, so then it's much more of an informal, I know this is kind of informal, but more of an informal, like friendly get together to talk about things. So Flopkey, hey professor, how difficult will it be to get a master's while holding a full-time job? Depends on what one you do. There's a lot of online programs right now that you can do both. What I would say is ask them what is their split of full-time students versus students that are working and doing the master's. That's going to be more helpful because there's a lot of people that are doing it. It's doable. If you see there's only a few people doing it, they might be putting it in a way that it's not really, really helpful. So something to think about. Nick P, my friend. How's it going, my friend? Happy 2024 to you and your family. Mark, I got my eyes set on Canada and Australia. I'm taking the Canadian across Canada before going down under. So those who know, Nick has been with us for, Nick, how long have you been with us? Like 7 years, 8 years? Nick loves the trains. He's going around. He's going across Canada and then flying to Australia and then taking the train across Australia. It's insane. My behind hurts. Please take an extra butt cushion for me, for yourself, Nick, just so I feel better. I love my dog. Hold on. My dog wants to get out. Hold on, Rick. Hold on. There you go. Spoiled brat dog. Go on. The best part is my dog has gotten to the point now at his age where he's like, I just want to go outside and stare and bark. You'll hear him bark a little bit. There's nothing out there. It's just like trees. But he's like, woof. So you'll see. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Exhausted father of 3. I feel that pain. What's your favorite fast food established in Chicago if you are tight on time? Okay, so if you're going to go there, you got to go to Portillo's. Okay? Portillo's is the Chicago place. You get a Chicago dog when you're there, or you get their Italian beef. Those are 2 things that are very much Chicago, and you can get those if you're there. And get the chocolate cake shake. Yes, you will have all of your calories for a month in one day, one meal, but that's what you want to get. Like that, and your kids will be there, and it's a little more, it's family friendly, so you're taking your kids with you, you'll be good to go. Friedrich, dear Walter's World, can you suggest traveling to Morocco with the child? Did you feel safe? Yes. If you watch our Morocco videos, you'll see our kids playing with the local kids, playing soccer. We had a great time with our kids there. Do a cooking class. The tagine cooking is something that even little kids can enjoy, because our kids were like, the youngest one was, I think, like 8 or 9 when we were there, and he was like 6.
No, he was like 6.
6, yeah, he was like 6, and he loved it. We had a good time doing that. So something fun to do with the kids. Let's see. Bethany, best cities for plant-based travels. We plan to visit Paris soon, but unsure of our options. Okay, so I would say for plant-based eaters, US, UK, Germany, which is funny because Germany, like, you have to look for plant-based restaurants, whereas UK and the US, there's a lot of plant-based options in normal restaurant menus. Those things can be helpful. Scandinavia is pretty good with it too. Eastern Europe, less so. If you're looking for Europe, going for that. But like Greece is good. But if you're in bigger cities, you will definitely have options, because what's cool is there's a lot of associations that will help travelers find it. So don't let it hold you back. You'll eat really well. In some places you go, like we were in Rwanda, and honestly, like we were vegetarians for basically 10 days because that's what they ate. And it was all plant-based stuff. It was fantastic. And they're vegetarian not because of like religious reasons, but because they're like, I don't want to kill the cow because I use the blood for this, I use the milk for this, I use the dung for fertilizer. So it's kind of interesting to see those things. So yeah. Anonymous Girl. Hello, Anonymous Girl. Thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, Mark, any recommended South American countries for new female travelers? What are some other nature-oriented countries you'd recommend? Okay, so if you're a female traveler, Costa Rica, I mean, it's not South America, but it's Latin America. Costa Rica is a really easy one. That's what I recommend a lot of people for like a first step into Latin America if you're coming from the US and Canada, because safe, easy to get around, it's set up, like you'll be okay. If you're looking to go to South America, I would say Peru, when there's not government problems. There's been some problems there lately with that.
They have good tourism.
Yes, they have good tourism infrastructure. Jocelyn, you can always come in here and talk instead of like hiding. She's hiding across the other way.
I'm making dinner, y'all.
Yes, we've all been making dinner. Don't worry. But like Peru is really good because the tourism infrastructure there is fantastic and the people are very nice. Ecuador is probably pretty safe. I would say it's pretty safe too. Those would be the ones I probably recommend first for places. So I hope that can help. Let's see. Ooh, aviation, Matthew. I'm around a month away from starting my semester studying abroad in England. I mentioned you a few times. Yes, a few. I know. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, don't forget, we have actually a study abroad Erasmus program playlist about meeting friends, making friends, getting the most out of your study abroad. We have that in there. Also on our Professor Walters channel, I answer a bunch of questions about study abroad there too. So if people like study abroad or exchange student Walters World in Google search or in YouTube search, a lot of stuff will come up there. So, and so your question, like make it a smoother transition from life in the US, you'll be fine. UK is totally fine. One thing I would say is when people start asking you to do things when you first get there, never say no. I don't care how tired you are with jet lag, go do things because people never ask you twice. And that's for anyone that wants to live abroad. Like that's one of the big things we say is you never pass up the first invitation. Once you do something with them, you can do things later and say, oh, I'm tired, but not the first time. Okay. Yes, we are home. We are home, Daniel. Yes, to Portillo's. There you go. Let's see. Gene and Jews is way better. I know, but I'm just saying, if they're in Chicago, you'll find a Portillo's somewhere. Jean-Michel, Quebecois, lived in Vietnam for a year. Did you ever went there? We did not. That was another one that got canceled in COVID, then got canceled again. And that's actually one I'm looking to go this fall. So Jean-Michel, feel free to DM me some good tips. And that's one thing I always love getting. That's one thing a lot of you don't realize is like, Mark, where do you come up with all this information? Well, we do tons of research, but also we go and we explore when we're there, but also having fantastic fellow travelers like you that share your experiences as well. So we can help share more things to help people know things. I always love finding out things from other travelers. So it's really nice. Let's see. Yeah, Cusco, Peru for the place in South America. Yeah. Should be careful of the altitude sickness the first day. Let's see. Tax Daddy 1956. Give me your years in and knowledge of Portugal. Yes. Do you think Sintra can be done in one day or does it really need to? No, one day you're fine. What I would do is take the train in the morning, get up there, and then go up to the Palacio de Pena, the one that looks like the Disney stuff. Go to that one, and then if you want, you can go down to the Moorish Castle ruins. You can hike through there, and then you come down and you see the National Palace that looks like Madonna's bra from the 1990s. You have the pointy things. Do that. There's a few things you eat there, and then you take the train back that night. You don't need to spend the night. It's okay.
It really does look like
It does. I can't lie. It looks like Madonna's bras from Vogue.
That's funny.
So. Travel cheap through Norway. Don't eat. Bring your food with you. Don't drink.
Suffice on snow.
Yes, yeah. If you go in the winter, if you just melt the snow and drink that. No, it's like Switzerland. There's no way to do it cheap. So
you can stay in a hostel that costs as much as a normal
hotel. Yeah. So, and that's one of those things you typically think are cheaper, like the hostels. Check hotels because it might actually be cheaper, especially if you got 2 people with you to split it. Might be better that way. Jay, hey, love your channel. Thank you. Would you ever come back to El Salvador now that the government has cracked down on crime? We went when it wasn't cracked down on crime. El Salvador was fun. Like, pupusas became part of our family. Like, my son, so we go to one of our Mexican grocers here because they got the good stuff, And so we're there, and I was talking to the lady working there. She's like, wait, pupusas? Because there was like Goya pupusas in their freezer. I'm like, pupusas. She's like, you've been to El Salvador? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, there's a family that runs a burrito place that if you go there and tell me what pupusas, they'll make it for you because actually El Salvadorian, not Mexican, but no one knows what pupusas are. I'm like, oh, we're going. So my oldest son, Caleb, and I, we used to go, I don't know, once or twice a month, just like after school, pick him up, and we go eat pupusas at like 3:00 in the afternoon. So yeah, we totally go back. Brooks, hey Mark, my goal this year, New Year's, to visit Canada by car from the U.S. Perfectly easy to do. More specifically, the Midwest. Where would you recommend? Thanks. Okay, so if you're coming from the Midwest, I would probably go up through you can go, well, there's different ways you can go. Toronto, I would go into Niagara, Toronto, and then go up around going towards Prince Edward Island. So you're going,
make a circle.
You're going to make a circle, yes. So you're going to drive over, hit Cleveland on the way. Really nice, actually. Niagara Falls, Toronto, then go across. You got the old Capitol. There's that. You go over to Ottawa. Along the way, there's some Kingston that's really nice to check out. From Ottawa, then you go into Quebec City and Montreal, and then go across to Prince Edward Island. You can't go wrong.
That's a long trip.
It's a long drive. We've done it. We've actually done it a couple times.
But you can do a shorter route and go through like Buffalo and all that, and then
Buffalo's
left.
where Niagara is.
I know, and go left.
Oh yeah, and then you can go through Banff, and not Banff, but you can go.
No, just cut out the Prince Edward Island and hit the major cities. Then come back in side of the lakes.
Yeah, when you come in over Montreal and Quebec City, coming through Vermont, coming back down that way, that would work too. Yeah, Mark Finley, we have a couple Portillos in Dallas Fort Worth now, but the lines are insane. Yeah, our Portillos, we're only a few hours from Chicago, and our Portillos is not as good as it used to be. It's grown too fast. Risotto Eater, thank you very much for eating risotto, which is very tasty. Is it better to fly directly from JFK to Japan or book a layover in Hawaii to avoid jet lag? You're going to have the jet lag anyway. I would just do the direct one to get it over with, and you'll save yourself the time. Like that, by far. That's one of those things, those really long flights. We've done it before. We try to break it up, and it didn't change the jet lag. It just gave us a new place to see. Like if you want to see Hawaii, and it's going to give you time to spend some time in Hawaii, do it. But if it's just so you go there and have a 3-hour layover in Honolulu, no, not worth it. Let's see. Oh, Janice, thank you very much for becoming a member. We really appreciate it. There's so for those who know, we actually have a Facebook group called the Superheroes of Walter's World. I'll put a link for members on YouTube and our patrons. I'll put it on there again so you can find it, and then we can get you on there so you can talk to other travelers and answer questions that way. Let's see. Simply Corey, hi Mark. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Very excited for your 2024 travels. Do you still have plans to visit Caribbean next year? Yes, we will be visiting Caribbean. We won't say which island yet because we may be letting you all choose the islands we go to. So, shh. But that's for something later in the year for us to talk about. So, Matthew wants to know if we're going to do any Porto-specific videos. So we're looking to take the boys back to Portugal. For those who don't know, our youngest was actually born in Portugal. So we want to get back there. So when we get back, we will be doing that. I was in Portugal teaching this summer, but since I was teaching, had students, I was kind of restricted to Lisbon and Sintra, around Évora, around the center part, because that's where my students were. So, yeah. Berlin versus Amsterdam for a single traveler. Amsterdam wins. I lived in Berlin for a long time, loved it, but Amsterdam wins. Yep. Henry, thank you very much for that super chat. Nowadays, between London, England, and Dublin, Iowa, which city and country would be the best to an introduction to the UK, Europe? Thoughts? Probably London. I would say London is a better introduction to UK, Europe.
You can get to more.
You can get to more places from there. There's a lot more places nearby.
You can get to Scotland.
Yeah, and Dublin's gotten so expensive for locals and for a lot of people that a lot of people have been kind of turned off by it. So. Something to think about.
I had a great time.
Would you like to sit here instead of talking in the background? Jocelyn's literally like walking behind you, like la, 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 la.
Hi. Sorry, I'm cooking. That's why I'm not talking.
You're not cooking, you're drinking.
I'm drinking and cooking.
Yes.
I can do both.
Yes, so cool. So Joseph, thank you very much for the super chat. Season greetings and a happy new year. And yes, season greetings and happy new year to all of you. Thanks for the education, bringing the world together by making it more accessible. Thank you. And Joe, that's what we're trying to do. Like this is why we do this. This comment right here that we know that we're helping people be able to explore better and making it accessible to people. That's why people ask, do you like Rick Steves? Do you like these other people? One thing I love about Rick Steves, he made Europe accessible to the average person. That's one thing we try to do. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor, you're male, you're female, you're whatever. We want to make it so you can travel and have a good time. And so, Joe, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yao says, yes, Montreal is awesome. But there are a few hills, yes. Hey, Jim and Harriet, good to see you. Let's see. Ooh, Traveling Freak 2019. Thank you for the super chat. Going to Japan for the first in Tokyo, January 7th to 13th, followed by Honolulu for 2 days. We're heading back to Texas. Suggestion on Tokyo. Tokyo is huge. Actually, we have Shocks of Tokyo. I think I have a Domes of Tokyo. Watch those. Are going to help you out. One of the big things you realize, the city is huge. You need to go in sections to do this part here, and then this part here, and then this part over here. Because you try to do too many parts, you're going to spend so much time in the subway, you're going to miss out.
Central.
Yeah. So and get a central place to stay, and just know that you'll figure out the metro. You'll figure it out. Don't worry. Thank you, Lori. Yes, thumbs up is always nice. I know now that people say, "Oh, you don't need to be thumbs up. It doesn't matter the algorithm." It's not the algorithm. It's that people know that you like the video. That's one of the biggest thing I want to say. Christina, thank you so much as a Puerto Rican. I love your videos about Puerto Rico. They're very accurate. Thank you. I got to say, Puerto Rico, when we were going, we let people know we have a lot of friends that have Puerto Rican ancestry, and they were like, "Oh, you got to do this," and then they told their families, and their families were writing us like, "You don't know us, but our cousin told us you were going over there, and we love your videos. So here's some more stuff." I mean, I think in the videos I talk about that, just how fantastic the people were. It was just awesome. Jay, hey buddy. Oh, thank you again. I'm planning my first trip to Europe. I'm only planning on going to Barcelona, Spain, and then Paris, and then my trip in Switzerland. Well, that's not too bad. That's pretty long stuff. I wonder if it is at Grindelwald. Will it be easier on train? Okay, so Barcelona to Paris, you want to fly. Don't waste the time. Okay, unless you're going to take the train over to Montpellier and go see Montpellier on the coast, and you can take the fast train up from there. Otherwise, I would just fly, especially if you don't have a lot of time. And there's tons, Vueling is a cheap airline in Spain that'll get you there, and that's fine. I would do that. And then if you're doing the train down to Switzerland from Paris, you can do that because that's the TGV will go down. And you can stop in Lyon, or you can stop in Strasbourg or Colmar, some of these other nice places along the way, and put that in, because you're going to take the train. The part of the train is to see the country. Use that. And just even if you're just getting off for the day, check to see if they have the left luggage. Leave the luggage there for the day and go explore. Then take the train the afternoon and the evening and finish off the rest of your journey. That's what I would say. Brave Belly, thank you. Thank you for loving the channel. Serious question: can I go to Russia and be fine? And I'd go this coming summer. I don't know how things are going to be with the war with Ukraine, and I don't know where your passport's from. So that's going to be a big influence on your time there. I know travelers have gone back already. I mean, we've gone to Russia. I went to Russia a number of times when I used to work in Lithuania. So we had fun times when we go there. So that's going to be one that I would look at the State Department and see what they say. The State Department, wherever you're from. So, Travel Adventure with Eric B says, hey, Jocelyn. So good to see you.
He says, hey, and he's hating on my dogs. So.
Oh, yeah. Because, LSU didn't do too well this year. But they got a Heisman. Kyle Markey, best time of the year to go to Czech Republic. Summer, but it's so packed. But I would do early June. Early June or go at Christmas time. Beautiful there. Quinn Hicks, thank you very much for the super chat. Going to Munich and Amsterdam for 4 days each. Perfect. In late February. Any tips or recommendation? Also, how's the weather during that time? Munich will be snowy and cold. Amsterdam will be wet and chilly. I would say don't just stay in the cities. Do a day trip. Amsterdam, I would go out to Utrecht or Haarlem. If you're in Munich, you can do a day trip to Salzburg in Austria. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. Very doable. You'll be fine. I was just there and I just did it, so it's not a problem at all. So those would be a couple things I would say there. BC, thank you. I appreciate we can help out. Isn't Rick Steves Norwegian too? Rick Steves is Oregonian. He's from Oregon. Let's see. Oh, Connor O'Brien going to Ireland alone as a 17-year-old in a few weeks, and he had safety advice for traveling alone for the first time. So, Connor, I have a bunch of safety videos, and Jocelyn has some too that are for like female travel safety, but it's going to be helpful for young travelers too. Watch those. Those are going to help you out. I would say as a 17-year-old, just realize that not everybody is your friend. That's one big mistake. I see a lot of travelers that get in trouble. They assume all other travelers are their buddies. They are not. They are not. Okay, I have a unwritten rules of travel video that's coming out for this summer travel season, and that's one of those things is you cannot trust everybody you meet, even if we're at the hostel, we're all buddies. I've only had stuff stolen from hostels, and I've heard some horror stories. So just be aware. Use your common sense, Connor. I believe in you, buddy. You'll be fine. Michael Miska, I need Africa travel advice. Well, it's a very big continent. So we have videos on Tanzania, Rwanda, Morocco. I think that's all we have because I did a bunch of stuff in Africa before I did Walter's World. But there's a lot of stuff there. Oh, Janice went to São Miguel de Azores and from Madeira. Nice. Great price to Azores Airlines if you have been. Yeah, so one of Liam's godparents is actually, he's from Madeira, and they live there now. So we got to get there to film there for that. Aw. Thank you, Maria. To the Walter World family, you've absolutely helped us with etiquette and great tips when traveling to Europe with our 2 young kids. Lots of love and appreciation from Australia. Thank you, Maria. I need to get back down there. For those of you who know, I was an exchange student in Australia back when I was like 16. I was so thin and had so much hair. It's good times. Good times. You know what? Honestly, Australians, some of the funniest people out there. They're hilarious. I love it. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Oh, you got to go to a wedding, Richard? That's cool. That had to be a fun time when you were there. Tanzania, as they say there. Yes, we had a good time. We're there. Actually, Tanzania is, I highly recommend, super friendly people, great food, tons of infrastructure. It's really cool. David, thank you very much for the super chat. Love Walter's World, best travel channel. Thank you. Have you heard if the terrible bed bug infestation in Paris has been eradicated or at least improved? It's improved. It was never as bad as they made it sound. That's why you'll notice every 2 or 3 years they'll talk about bed bugs will become a big popular thing, and you're going to bring them to your country. They're already here. So don't sweat it too much. I mean, you can bring the infrared thing and see, but then you'll probably see some other stuff you don't want to see. So wash your clothes when you come back. That's one thing. Don't just leave your stuff in your suitcase. That's one of those things. Just if you're worried, wash everything when you get back, and that'll help out. Eric, thank you, my friend. Hey, Mark. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, my friend. Thanks, buddy. I wish Jayden Daniels good luck in the NFL. So those know Eric. He has his own travel channel. He goes around all over the place. He's a super friendly dude. He's from New Orleans as well. So Charles doesn't have to talk to you about something. You guys might have to work on a video together. So hint, hint, hint. Surprise, surprise at a surprise destination. Oh, Christina, congratulations on the upcoming nuptials. Opinion on honeymoons. December 2024. I would do Argentina, Chile, because UK, Ireland, weather's not going to be so great. But they're fun at Christmas time. It is nice. I won't lie to you. I really like going those places. But I think if you want to get out, you want to be together, you want to have adventures, Argentina, Chile. And we will have more. We have tons of Argentina videos, but we'll have Chile videos by then too. Callie, thank you very much for the super chat. Happy New Year, Mark and family. We're headed to the Cook Islands. Oh, you suck, but in a good way. We're hoping for a peaceful visit that is uncrowded. If you've ever been there, I have not. But whenever I meet Australians doing their around-the-world tours, they all go to the Cook Islands, and they all freaking love it. They all say, Mark, you got to go. Mark, you got to go. So I have not been, Callie, but I can tell you that after probably 150 Australians tell me it's awesome, And I like the Australians. And Australians, one thing, they don't lie to you. They might pull your leg and joke with you, but they're not going to lie about that stuff. So there is that. Let's see. So Ty, countries have the best exchange rate in 2024. That's a tough one because exchange rates, it really comes down to what you want to pay. Because anywhere you go in the world, if you're used to a usual U.S. city, the expensive places are going to be similar to like going to New York or Chicago. So it's not going to ever be really bad. But I usually tell people if you're looking for affordable destinations, Southeast Asia and South America, that's going to help you out a lot. Michael, thank you for the super chat. I need Africa travel advice. I'll do 4 weeks. I would like to see Morocco and Victoria Falls in Zambia. Best times of year, research, resources, etc. So Morocco, we've got plenty of videos from Morocco to help you out there. Morocco, you can go any time of the year. You'll be fine. Zambia, what I would recommend, like one company that we really like is called Shadows of Africa. They set up really fantastic guided tours, but you can have where it's just you or your group, or you can go with other people. But one of the things when you're going to be doing the safaris, and Michael, we have a what to know before you go on an African safari. Watch that. That is going to help you more than anything else. It's probably the best video. The video I'm the most proud of. It's got like 20,000 views, but it's the video I'm the most proud of because honestly, it was every question I had about going on safari in Africa was answered there. So I would check out that video to help you out. One thing, when you're going to be flying around, pack as least amount of stuff as possible. Also, when you're trying to book different places you're going to go, try different days because you'd be surprised how many airlines in Africa maybe only go 3 days a week. So instead of having to go, like if you went on Tuesday, you could fly the direct flight. But if you went on Wednesday, then you have to do like 3 connectors. So do be aware of that, Mike. So I hope that can help you out. Let's see. Caleb, hey, great name. I want to move to Spain as an American citizen. Are there some things that may be difficult to move into the EU? It's getting the visa. That's the thing. That's the only thing. That's the hardest part. Culture-wise, here's one thing is the world used to be this big. Now the world's this big. Everybody's listening to BTS. Everybody loved the Barbie movie. You're not going to have as many cultural problems as you used to. So, thank you for the super chat. There's a super sticker. I'm going to guess that pops up there, but this machine doesn't show that. But thank you, my friend. Allison, how are you? Good to hear from you. Have fun in Moscow. Let's see. Jeffrey's going to Japan for almost 4 weeks. Oh, dude, that's awesome. March through mid-April. Can you recommend other cities to visit besides Tokyo? Kyoto is the big one you have to do. Osaka is another really good one. I would say if you got 4 weeks, spend a week in Tokyo because there's just so much there, and then spend the other 3 weeks exploring. And if you're going to be that long, then the J Pass, the Japan Rail Pass is going to be worth it because if you're just going to go like Tokyo to Kyoto and back, it's not worth it. It's normal train tickets. So, but you got to get that before you go. Just so you know. Hey, Julio, hope you're doing well in Texas. Darian, my friend, how are you? I'm in the middle of Wally World listing. Love it. How are we doing? Good, my friend. Let's see. Sharon B. planning a few days in the French Riviera, then Wengen, Switzerland in early May. You're cool. Is it a bad idea to do Switzerland in early May because the snow's still melting, trying to come up with an itinerary? You'll be okay. Like there'll be still snow. You'll get the beautiful views. You're not going to go skiing, but you'll still get the beautiful views. You'll be fine. Tanzania, yes. It's East Africa is beautiful. Anonymous girl, yes.
I'd go back there.
Yeah, Jocelyn said she'd go back there. How long would you recommend for a trip to Istanbul? So some people like to go there for a weekend. I would give it a couple extra days just because there's so much to see there, and the city is huge, so you need yourself a little bit extra time. I'm on the fence between a trip to England and Germany. What's your opinion? I've never been to either, but I've been to France and Italy from the U.S. So very different trips, both worth it. You'll have a good time either way. If you go to Germany, either one you can train anywhere you want to go. The trains will take you everywhere you want to go, both of them. But if you want to drive and control your own destiny, you want to do it in England. You don't want to do the driving in Germany because you're not ready for, even if you're from Texas and driving there, you're not ready for the Autobahn. It can be very scary. I would say base it on look at, because London's obviously going to be your private landing point in England, but Germany, if you're going to go to Germany, I would if you're flying to Munich, go explore that southeast part of Germany and get into some of Austria. You can get some other stuff there. I would recommend that too. So you really can't go wrong either way. Rick, thanks for your videos. My wife and I are headed to Slovenia this summer. We can't wait. Slovenia, this for years now I've been saying it, hidden place, because you really have to make it a point to go there because it's not like on the way, but it's well worth it. So worth it. Jonathan, my brother, good to hear from you, my friend. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. BC, is Brazil safe for a solo visit? I've gone solo a number of times. Like I actually lived there. I'd say solo travelers that don't speak Portuguese, that's one thing. It's hard. But if you go to like places like Minas Gerais, that state is fine. Rio does have issues. The northeast of Brazil has issues. So you got to be careful when you're there. So don't be like, oh, we're going to go out and party now. Find people.
It really helps.
Yeah, it really helps to speak Portuguese. That was stuff I will not be in Bilbao this summer. I was supposed to go last summer with the thing and it didn't work out. So sadly, I did not get that.
And I need to go there and see some architecture.
Jay's going to go to Salt Lake City to watch the NBA. I always wanted to visit Utah. It's beautiful. Beautiful there. My mom loves going there. She's big in genealogy, all kinds of stuff there. She goes there like once a year just to do that. Idaho, underrated beauty. Honestly, there's a place there that looks like it's like the wastelands of the moon. Check it out. Look it up. You're like, oh my gosh, you're right. Yep. BC wants to know, is Zaragoza worth visiting for the day? Yes, in Spain, it is worth for a day. You could stay longer too, but Zaragoza just passing through, you'll be okay. I would get there. Nothing's really open till like food wise till noon. So yeah, don't get there too early, I guess I would say. Sharon, you are very welcome. I'm glad to help out. That's why I love doing these little chats on here. Oh, Joseph Marquez, your video on what happens if Passport can really helped me. Thank you. I had so many questions. I just filmed a new one. A week and a half ago, I was in Austria and Germany, and I filmed a new one there that'll come out. It's got snow in the background, so it'll probably come out like in February when there's snow. So that'll be coming out, but I'm glad that can help. That's those things, like helpful videos like this. I'm trying to find more of these little like hiccups people have when they travel that they just don't know, and that's what I want to help out. So if you have those things, not in the chat here or wherever you see it, because that I don't see later, but in the comments part, or if you follow us on social media, ask us a question. Hey, Mark, could you make videos on different topics?
Yeah.
That would be really helpful, because if you don't know, on our Walter's World Shorts channel, I put in, like, this is where I answer a ton of questions. So if you subscribe there, literally every day I'm answering questions. And starting in the first of the year, right now, a lot of it's just like chopped up of our old videos. Starting the first of the year, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, there's a specific answering question video, and there's some of the chopped up ones too, and you're going to see those coming up a lot. So.
Also, when people write me on Instagram, if it gets in there, I answer.
Jocelyn said if you write us on Instagram, we're more likely to answer you back, because then it's easier to get to, because YouTube doesn't
see those things.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't show us all the comments.
Not all of them get through, and sometimes it takes me days to find those little hidden ones in the background and whatnot. But I answer those as much as possible. So yeah, do that. Okay, I'm gonna go finish dinner.
There we go. Where's this? Ooh. Magus, hey, hello, Professor Walter. I'm going to visit Iceland in March. Have fun. Do I need much cash, or is enough credit cards? Like, they take cards a lot of places. I'd like to pay gas station by cash. What do you think? Make sure you have a card. You can have cash. They'll take it, but have a card. Some of these things are not manned, so you will literally like pay with a tap and go kind of thing. So, and make sure you have that tap thing on your card. Jay, thank you very much for the super chat. What would you say was your favorite part of Mexico to visit? I think one of the first times. So the first time I went to Mexico, I was like 16, and I was in Guadalajara and met some locals, and we went out partying. And we ended up getting chased all around Guadalajara in the back of a pickup truck. Now I laugh. I was a little scared at the time. But that was a fun time. I think with the family, let's see. I think Liam and the iguanas. Like, I just remember that. Like, Liam loving all the iguanas when we were there. That was fun. But I really like, what I like is, because a lot of people just go to Cancun. What I like about Cancun is you can get the beach vacation, but also get the culture as well. And that's what's really cool. And I don't know. I've always had a very special place in my heart for Mexico because my dad worked there for a number of years, and I got to go with him. That's when that happened when I was 16. But there's a lot of his coworkers from Mexico came to visit us in the U.S. My dad didn't speak Spanish when I was like 14, 15 years old. I had to translate, with my like Spanish 3 Spanish, and that really was one of those things that really got me excited to like do better in Spanish and travel. So it was kind of cool. Let's see. Yes, there are plans for Glasgow specific videos. My mom is killing me to get back to Scotland, and yes, there will be some. Don't worry. Hey, Luke Bourgeois. Hi, Mark from Canada. Hey, my friend. Been watching your channel during the past few years. What was your favorite part of Punta Cana? Actually, if you speak just a little bit of Spanish, you will meet locals because the people at the resorts get treated like garbage by most of the tourists there. I actually talked to the locals there, and they were so happy I was trying to speak Spanish. I was speaking Spanish with them, and they're like, yeah, most people. I'm like, but we all learn. Like a lot of people learn it in school. They don't even, he's like, no, nothing. People tried nothing, and they're really dicks. I'm like, wow, okay. And I talked to quite a few people on property at the place we were staying, and they're like, yeah, no, they were just so happy that we were speaking with them like as normal people. And then they were like, hey, if you're gonna go to a restaurant, go here. If you're going to eat this. Don't get this, get that. Like then people were like super, super friendly. I will tell you, if you're going to be going to Punta Cana, do not do the Solana Island tour. You're going to waste a day. It's beautiful, but you waste like literally an entire day to spend like 2 hours on the beach. And you can just go to the beach in Punta Cana and you'll be fine.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of that. Swana Beach. I have a review on it. Don't waste your time. Let's see. What's for dinner? We're having duck rice.
Brazilian style.
Brazilian style duck
not
rice.
The Singaporean.
Yeah, not the Singapore. I thought we were having because there's the Portuguese version too.
No, we're having the Brazilian.
Yeah, the Brazilian version. So Eric is helping with the with this is one thing I love. I love seeing the comments and you all helping each other in the comment section. Thank you for that. That's why we have the best travel people together. I just want to say thank you for helping everybody out. But
our superheroes.
Yeah, that's why our superheroes are super like Eric. Blue Lagoon offers transportation for the city center and airport. Not sure about Sky Lagoon, but first I would definitely do Blue Lagoon. Yeah. For those of you who know, if you fly into Reykjavik in Iceland, sorry, my brain was not working there. Maybe a little more wine will help. But if you fly into Reykjavik, they actually have it set up where if you have a long enough layover, you can actually go to the Blue Lagoon. That's where they have the hot springs and stuff there. Rub the mud all over. You're safe. Have a good time. Get cleaned up. Get you back to your plan to keep going. But it is well worth it. And if you don't have a lot of time, do that because some of the other ones are a lot farther away. We've driven around the island, and it's not for the weak of heart. Let's just say that. Oh, Misty, I love this. Single mom wanting to take my 12-year-old son on his first trip out of the country. Suggestions on first place to go.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Single mom wants to take her 12-year-old out of the country. Okay, so if you're looking for kid-friendly places, Italy, they love kids.
If you want to go to Europe.
Italy is great. I would say Ireland is an easy one as well because of the language thing. Iceland, yes. If you want to go something a little bit closer, if you're from the U.S., Costa Rica, because there's a lot of outdoor activities they can do with the kids.
That's why I think Iceland too. I mean, it's an adventurous sort of travel, and you're outside a lot. Costa Rica is really great because it's really well set up for all of that. But so is Iceland. It's a different kind of adventure, but still outdoors.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's one like DM.
Culture though, I would go with Italy.
Yeah. Because a 12-year-old is like, oh, I know these things, and then they're like, oh, pasta. What kid doesn't like pasta? So there is that.
Pizza in Pisa.
Don't get the pizza in Pisa because they.
You don't really have to go to Pisa.
Yeah, you don't have to go to Pisa. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there next year to film a video, literally telling people, don't waste your time, unless you want to get this picture, but make it a half day and go. Quentin Iggs, thank you for super chatting, my friend. Would you recommend Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or Jamaica for relaxing beach vacation? So if you just want to sit on the beach and sit at your resort and do nothing else, Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to go explore and have a combination of culture, fun, crazy, Jamaica. Mm-hmm. If you want to have one where you feel, if you're from the, I can't remember if you're from the US or Canada, if you want to feel like you're more back in the US but have a little Caribbean vibe to it, then Puerto Rico. But all of them, we've been all three. We enjoy all of them. Our kids love Jamaica by far. Of anything in the Caribbean, by far. We had such a great time there.
God, yeah.
Hobbies Hobo, is a month or 2 or 3 Euro Pass really worth it? No. If you're under 26, yes. But Hobies, you look like you're about 28 in your picture, my friend. It's not really worth it. Like, you can buy the train tickets beforehand and you'll be fine, or even when you're there, it won't pay for itself. For it.
Sometimes if you buy them ahead of time, you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, we like for Italy, if you buy it far enough ahead, it's literally like half the price of the normal ticket, and we can go. We actually were buying first class tickets for less than the second class fare because we bought them earlier, so you can be extra comfortable. So yeah, no Blue Lagoon because the eruption. That's true in Iceland.
There are other
that's the one in the north, but right now with eruptions going on, you can't really. We don't know when that's going to stop. So. Christina is going to Ireland at the end of September. What's the best way to get around the different cities to see as much as possible? Rent a car is a good idea, yes. And we have videos on the don'ts of renting a car and driving in Ireland that'll help you out. It's like Ireland, UK. It'll help you out. You'll be good there, Christina. It's weird at first, but after about 30 minutes, you're fine. So, Dudley Dura, Punta Cana. Where is this? Sounds like the locals love respectful tourists would love to meet them. That's in Dominican Republic. That's where like all the tourists go in there. That's why there's so many bad tourists there. So when there's nice tourists, they're very helpful. I've actually had that a lot of places like Cancun as well. Just speaking Spanish and being nice to them because they get treated so bad by so many tourists. Like that's one of those things. Like you're watching this video, you are not a bad tourist. People that are bad tourists are not watching our videos. You're like, hey, or they're the ones that comment on our shorts where you're like, I work on this place. I don't think they can speak English to me. They want my money. I'm like, dude, they have the education to teach them that. But whatever. But that's a whole other thing. Breakfast King of Loyola, Chicago people. Top underrated cities for travel in the U.S. Top underrated cities: Cleveland, Pittsburgh. People crap on LA so much, but LA is actually pretty cool. People crap on New York. New York is actually really cool. We're doing it. Underrated city in Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City is really cool. Like we're going to go back there and film again because it's a good time. Ooh, Penita baby. Single mom takes your kids to Japan. I took my 10, 7, 4, and 3-year-old this summer. They love it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, girl.
Heck yeah, girl. That's awesome. Shout out to you.
That's badass. Yeah. Can I say that? Can they hear me when I say that?
Yeah. So two girls abroad. Oh, I know you, right? Yeah, cool. I'm going to Barcelona in March, but I haven't seen any updates on the tourist visa. That's been pushed back to 2025. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it this year. Okay. Anthony Ryan, thank you very much for the super chat. Did you travel when your kids were babies? If so, how do you suggest doing it efficiently? Oh, yeah. So 6 weeks for both of them on their first flights.
First flights were at 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Liam was 4 weeks when we took a road trip through
to
Portugal and Spain.
Hopefully you can hear her, Anthony. But yeah, here's what's great. They're really easy when they're babies, and people love babies. Except in Switzerland, they don't love babies. You go anywhere else in the world, they love babies. Switzerland, they don't love babies. And efficiently, one of the things, remember, like, make sure you're like, look, I've got to have the baby Bjorn so people see the baby because they're like, no, you come around, babies first. Babies help.
Cheap foldable.
Yes, get the like $20 umbrella stroller at the local grocery store when you get someplace, buy it, and then you can just leave it someplace later on. Why don't you come over here if you want to add comments?
No, it's fine. I'm cooking. I'm actually putting the rest of the rice away.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dan Reed, man, how you been? Haven't come with these a while. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to all of you. Aviation Math, I know you spent a lot of time there. Yes. Day trip to Turku. Yeah. What you might do is you could take the ferry from Stockholm if you're coming from that way, get in the morning, see it, then take the train over to Helsinki in the evening. You'll be fine. I mean, it's a small town. I go there because I live there. So that's why it's very special to me. But it's a cute town. But as someone that lived there, but also someone that's a travel person, I can tell you, yeah, you could do it in a day. You got the castle when you get off the ferry, go to the castle, see that, go through it, see those things. You can walk along the river, find the little nice statues and stuff along the way. See Old Town, get a beer at Whiskey Bar, my favorite bar. You'll be good to go. Let's see. Brewdog, love the group chat. Is there a forum about travel you suggest? I don't really have one specifically because we kind of do all ours in our members only kind of thing, or people ask us. I kind of do it that way. One thing I see, be careful whenever you look at forums because it's kind of like reviews. People like the 5 stars and the 1 stars are people that are like maybe never traveled before, think it's awesome, or the 1 stars they expect to be just like at home, and so they're pissed off on weird things. Make sure you're reading multiple people stuff. Don't take one person as like, oh, they know everything. I read this one comment. Don't let that stop you.
That's why those.
Oh, come on! Now just come around here and tell them.
Okay, so that's why I think those membership kind of groups are a good thing, where you are a little bit invested in it. I kind of like follow other groups and whatnot, but the ones that I invest in, those are the ones that I find people have the best advice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like our superheroes.
Yeah,
thing. It's very much
ones.
that. It's a bunch of like-minded travelers who are, like talking about these same questions that we have now, and we all kind of input. Sometimes they're putting out articles that we should read, or whatever. We all do that.
We all do that, and that's what's cool about it. So, glad I can help out, my friend. Glad to help out. We're gonna eat here in about 5 minutes, so I gotta finish up here in a bit. When will supper be ready? And should I bring the wine? Yes, because I've almost got the entire bottle down. I know it's not Whiskey Wednesday. I guess it's Wine Wednesday.
I'm having gin and tonic.
Jocelyn, it's gin and tonic. Let's see. What country is with G for Wednesday? No, I don't have one for that. Carlos, you're very welcome. Pandita, yeah, go to Turkey. They love kids. Yeah, you have a good time. So, John, I don't know the hotel. That's one thing I'll do. We started doing hotel reviews on places we've stayed. Now we've done like the last year or so, a few, because what I've seen is the hotels change so fast that I feel bad ever giving a recommendation for a hotel because things change. I mean, it's kind of like why I don't recommend restaurants, because literally the 2 times I've recommended restaurants, they both ended up closing, and I'm like,
except for the one in France.
Yeah, the one in France is still there. Yeah, that's still there. Cannabis, that's good. I like that's funny. That's funny. Hi from Ottawa. Do you have any recommendation for non-Disney attraction in Orlando? Our kids love Universal with Harry Potter World. There's that.
Oh, shit.
She's talking behind the video again.
What's the place? It's that alligator farm thing that I went to with Barry.
Oh, Gator World.
Yes.
Gatorland or Gator World.
Fun.
Yeah, you can go there.
But they may surprise you with a baby gator in your face, and you might scream. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
2-year-old.
She totally did.
I lost it. And I'm okay, like seeing them out and about, but shove a tiny little, I lost it.
Let's see. Chris, what's up, my brother? Chris has been with us a long time friend. Do you think visiting Paris a month after the Olympics will still be busy? It won't be it will be nowhere near as busy. You will have the hangover effect, like after the Olympics leave, like it's like the day after the party. You need a couple days to get things are going again.
A week or so.
But if you're looking at like a month afterwards, that's going to be August, when most people are gone anyway. But you'll still be fine because Paris it's like New York, LA, Paris, London. They can handle the Olympics because they got people all the time. So Chris, like I would go. I'm sure my mom will ask me to go for there or something like that. So I think it'd be good, buddy. So, yeah. All right. So, my friends, I want to say thank you for hopping on and sending all these fantastic questions. I will be doing more lives in 2024. I'm starting to schedule them so you'll know when they're going to be. So, if you have questions, you know when to hop on. So, I'll have kind of a thing. They'll say when our next live is going to be. Also, I'll post on our social media, but also our patron and member only lives, which are a lot fewer people. So it's really more in-depth answering, because you notice here, I'm just trying to go through to get everybody in there. So we have that. Salvatore, my connection, Vicenza, my best friends in the world, lives there. He's from there. So I go see them all the time. So yeah, and for those, the Olympic people, I'm actually going to be going to Paris before the Olympics to film some videos to help people with the Paris, Olympic focus stuff. Which is weird for me because usually I want to try to make things evergreen so people can use it for a long time, but I'm going to make some just for the Olympics because I've already started to see some really bad advice on Paris because of the Olympics. So I'm like, we got to do stuff. So I'm going to be filming there for that. So yeah, Chris, don't worry if you don't have your glasses, my friend. I still love you, buddy. S. Johnson, enjoy your dinner. You enjoy yours too. Missionary, yes, we will be getting to Georgia. Don't you worry about that. The country. So let's see. No, Darian. No one said go Gators. No one. Even your running back left you to go to Georgia, buddy. So anyway, this is one of those things I love is fantastic people like you all. Thank you for everything.
Darian, I love you. Go Dogs.
Go Noel. I'm going to assume that's Knowles. They didn't have a good day. They had tough times. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thanks for all. I'm glad I can help Anthony. Thank you, everybody. Everyone have a fantastic. I know you said go Dogs. No, this other person said go Dogs.
Oh, well, yeah.
Caleb, I know. She's obviously the Jen. She's had too many Jens because she's like Knowles. But,
And no, you know what?
They got kind of screwed over.
I want to win because I'm a Georgia fan. But I tell you what, they deserve to be in the hunt, man.
I know. You're making Caleb feel
It's
bad.
the We Got Screwed Over Bowl.
There you go.
That's what bowl we're playing.
There you
this
go.
week.
All right. Y'all have a great one. Thank you so much for hopping on. Until next time, happy travels, everybody. Bye.
Bye.